Good morning, everyone. How are you today? I am Marcus A. Wright, and I am a professional personality and emotional intelligence coach. I'm here today to talk to you about emotional intelligence. Now, how many of you know what emotional intelligence is? Anybody? Well, for those of you who don't know, emotional intelligence is your ability to understand your emotions while you're able to express them to loved ones and other people. Now, we've all been involved with COVID-19. We've been stuck in the house since March. We're walking around with masks on, something we've never done in this country before, let alone the entire world. But our emotions run high when that happens, right? We're home. Our spouses are home. Our children are home. Maybe you got a college kid that you want out of the house because they're getting on your nerves and they're home. That's a very stressful thing when everyone's there. What happens is your anxiety begins to run high. Now, before I get into that, let me give you a little background about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence has 5 pillars, 5 areas that we all go through every day. We have self-actualization, where we learn about ourselves. We have self-regard, when we're concerned about ourselves. We have interpersonal, where we interact with other people all the time, including your spouses and children and everyone in your home. We also have decision-making. How do we make decisions? And stress management, which is a key right now. And that's the one we're going to focus on today, stress management. Now, when anxiety running high due to COVID-19, not being able to go out, can't go to the gym, want to go play ball, kids at home all in your face, you're trying to relax, teenagers are always on the phone, you want them to do things around the house, chores. Now you really can't do them to get them to do anything because now they're home and they're like, I'm bored, and they're FaceTiming or Zooming or Google Duo or whatever the heck the other technology is out there to be able to talk to their friends all day long. And now, for most states, the kids are home doing homework and doing schoolwork at home. So as a parent, you're trying to get each kid to do what they need to do. But they're doing their schoolwork on Zoom, and if you have a daughter like mine, she has her phone set right next to her, and she's FaceTiming her best friend. And they're listening to each other's classes. I have no idea why they're doing that, because I just want to be done with mine and going about my day. Well, with stress management, our anxiety begins to raise very, very high. So at that point, our optimism, we look at things negatively. What we do from decision making, we don't make good decisions. We get frustrated. We're arguing with each other. Maybe we're having a disagreement. Like, I'm home, and my wife loves to stay in her space. She stays in her space. I don't know how she does it, but she stays in her space in the house. And she's on her laptop. Maybe she's watching something on television. Maybe she's talking to her sister. I have no idea. Me, my stress level is so high because I am an extroverted person. I got to get out of the house. I got to go somewhere. My impulse control is out of control. I just got to get out. So I go upstairs. I tell my wife, I'll be right back. I'm going to the store. And my wife tells me all the time, you just went to the store yesterday. What do you need to get from the store today? And I said, well, you know, I think I want some Fruity Pebbles because I don't think we have any more left. And my wife will tell me, you bought those yesterday. And so I'll just say, well, I just need to get out of the house. I'll be right back. First thing she says is, wear your mask. Now, when you're not used to wearing a mask, it becomes very difficult to do. And it's difficult for us in this room because everyone's in a mask. Wherever you go, you're wearing a mask. That adds to your anxiety. That adds to your stress. That makes you feel like, when is this going to be over? Now, when you're heightened with stress that way, what tends to happen is your decision making is not that great because your decisions that you make are based on your emotions, and at that moment, your emotions are high. So maybe somebody cut you off when you were driving down the street, and they cut in front of you. Well, now you're upset. Now you want to run up to them and say, hey, watch yourself, what you doing? But you can't do that. So what we have to learn when our stress level is at high, we have to learn how to take a moment, take a step back, because your emotions really control about 90% of what you do. Because with our emotions, we're reactive. We don't think things through. We kind of just react on if we're frustrated or our anxiety is high or we're confused about something. So decision making becomes very important when we have high anxiety. So what you have to do is take that step back, count to 5, and relax. And think about the good things that you did that day. Think about the good things you're going to do. Think about the wonderful things that you're going to bring home if you go to the store, the fact that you're going to see your kids when you get home. There's positivity everywhere. But you have to mentally change your mindset to understand that due to this COVID-19 and this stress that we're in, I don't have to react that way. I don't have to be angry that way. I don't have to allow my stress to rise up and then my anxiety takes over and I'm ready to do something. Because if you take that step back and you count to 5, you begin to relax. And when you get home, maybe take a few minutes, break out a notebook, break out a journal. This is the best time to document what's happening to your life at this moment, because COVID-19 has caused us to come closer together as people, because we have to understand that we're not the ones that brought this on ourselves. It just happened from whatever metamorphosis of the disease happened, and then we all got it. I don't know how it occurred. No one can really say how it happened. But this is the perfect time for you to find out about you, for you to find out about your loved one, for you to spend more time with your children, for you to get to know your grandparents or anyone in your life, for someone you haven't talked to in 10 or 15 years. But it's also a time for you to reflect on you. It's a time for you to journal or write down the things that you've been through. Where were you when they told us in March 2020 I had to stay home? What have you done during this time that you've been home? Yes, they've let us out in phases, but where have you been? What have you done? If you take time out to journal and you take a step back every time that you're frustrated, you will learn to control your emotions. Stress management can be controlled with great decision making, and that is when we take a step back and think before we react. My name is Marcus A. Wright. I am an emotional intelligence and personality coach, and you can find me at The Right Mentality on every single social media platform. Thank you.